Good evening and happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Royer's World. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, I'm so glad that you decided to join me on this great Friday evening. Please remember as you're coming into the building to hit that like button, comment your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section so we can keep the conversation going. And if you are not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, check out my channel. And once you do, make sure you hit that notification bell on all. That way you see each and every time I post a video with you in mind. Tonight, y'all, we are on Royer's Plane and we are taking a tour over into Bad Boys Club. Okay, I know the show is called Bad Boys, but I call it Bad Boys Club because it ain't nothing but Bad Girls Club, just for the boys. So whatever. But we're going to be reviewing episodes 4 and 5 this week. I missed those 2 episodes because I was, away and tucked in the hospital, taking care of myself. So here we back are reviewing episodes 4 and 5 of Bad Boys. I am super excited. These past 2 episodes, when I tell you, Zeus is just the ratchetness of it all, and I just truly enjoy the ratchetness. And like, this is the side of me that I don't really like to make public because, like, ratchet, ill, that's not really me in real life, but I enjoy watching it on TV. And it's just something about these gentlemen, these characters this season that it's just like, oh my gosh, like, I kind of see the bad boy in it, but then again, I don't see the bad boy in it. It's just a lot this season, like, and I'm enjoying, seeing Orlando Brown in a different light because I'm used to seeing like Orlando Brown Disney Channel or Orlando Brown Child Star. So seeing him in his adulthood and his struggles, like it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. And then Raz B and Carry On, y'all giving me something to talk about this week. So let's get started. Thank you guys for coming into the building. Please remember to hit that like button and we're gonna get this thing started. I got Dustin in the building with me this evening. Hey Dustin, how you
Yes,
doing?
man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing on this Friday evening?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just here for
Good,
support.
good, good. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Do you watch the show?
I don't watch the show. I'm just here for support.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming in the building. I truly appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the recap. So we're going to start off on episode 4. And so on episode 4, we're opening up with them leaving from the previous club. Hey, Juice Radio, thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate your support. So we're leaving the club. And so that morning, that next morning, we open up, have the opening scenes with Orlando Brown, Relly, and Banga. And so if you don't know who they are, I will pull up this the Bad Boys. Dustin, if you can just mute yourself for me, please, I would greatly appreciate that because I hear your background a little bit. So here are the cast real quick. Let me just open this up. Thank you so much, Dustin. I appreciate it, buddy. Um, so I'm gonna point them out. So here is Relly right here, Orlando Brown, and what did I say his name is? Banga. But I can't pronounce what his name is on here. So I call him Banga. That's the other name that they call him. So the three of them have breakfast that morning. Sorry, I didn't pull up the right screen. So Relly, Orlando, Banga. Okay. So they have breakfast that morning. And well, it didn't even seem like it was morning. It seemed like more so it was afternoon time. So they had fruit and champagne. And so Relly thinks that both Orlando Brown and Banga are off their rocker a little bit. And I would totally agree. And so Relly opens up the conversation with Banga, asking him how he's feeling, how things are going. And so Banga just shares with him that he has a lot mentally going on and that he's just trying to figure out some personal stuff and trying to be a part of the household. On last week's episode, Big Lou and Banga got into a fight 4 times, and Banga was beat up all 4 times in each fight. And so Big Lou wants his lick back. He wants to get Banga wants to get his lick back with Big Lou. And so here's Big Lou right here. That's Big Lou right here. And so they fought a couple of times last week, and he wants to get his lick back. So we move into Orlando, and Orlando is sharing, he's married, he has a child. He wasn't expecting to go to the strip club because the strip club is really not the scene where he should be at, especially being a husband and a father. But he said he enjoyed the drinks, he enjoyed the good time. And so Orlando is definitely off his rocker because he kind of talked about, his relationship, kind of being on unstable ground. And he was talking about everybody know my daddy is Michael Jackson and my mama is Elvis. And he just kind of started talking out of his behind. And so I just be getting confused with Orlando because I feel like it's drug abuse. He takes these drugs and he just goes out of his head and gets to talking crazy stuff. So if you go to his Instagram, you will see where he just say some wild stuff, y'all. Some really, really wild stuff. So moving into the next scene, we have our second, I called it the girls brunch because it was just giving girls time to me. And so in this second brunch meeting, we had Mo City, which here's Mo City. We had Raz B over here, and we had Carry On over here, okay? And so the three of them sat down, and so Mo City was saying that Raz B was live and crazy at the strip club the night before. He was licking strippers' booties and kissing and sucking on stuff and just doing the most. It was just doing way too much. And even when they were kind of recapping, or showing on the show, Raz B, just doing the most at the club, I was embarrassed for him and them. So I totally understand what everybody else was saying. Tonight is Mo City's night. We're still in Texas, Houston, I believe. And so this is Mo City, okay? So everybody is expecting Mo to show us the best club, to show us the good time and to have fun. They spoke on Banga, and they feel like Banga feels like an outsider. They feel like that he has not been accepted into the group yet. So they really want to show him more love and bring him back into the group. So I love the fact that they were just trying to show him support, show Banga love, and really make him feel a part of the core group of the Bad Boys, because he is kind of feeling like an outsider as I've been watching the show. So next we move into the next scene with Banga and Jonathan. Jonathan is a true character, and I enjoy him on this show. And I love when Jonathan comes through with loving, appreciative moments. He definitely gives, good, loving, appreciative moments. And so this is one of those moments. So Jonathan comes in Banga's room while Banga's on the phone with his grandmother. And, he's just giving Granny an update, making sure everything's good, making sure she's okay, all of that. And so Jonathan says, I came to check on you to make sure that you was good. And so Banga, he said that he had a gift for Banga because he didn't like the outfit that Banga had on at the club last night. So I love how Jonathan was coming to giving the gift, but then you was coming to throw a little shade at the same time too. Like, I like you, and I see you got your same outfit on from last night. Why you got that outfit on? But I did some shopping for you, so here we go. But little did he know that Banga has a little style, because Banga had an outfit laid out for that night's outing that Mo City was taking them out to. And Jonathan actually liked the outfit, but he convinced Banga to wear the outfit that he brought. And I just thought it was very nice and kind of Jonathan to bring an outfit. He also brought shoes, and the shoes fit him. They wear the same fit, so the same size. So Jonathan used to be a fashion, not a fashion designer. He used to be a stylist. So he said he can look at a body and see the size, the fit, all of that. And everything he bought for Banga fit exactly for Banga. So I thought it was really sweet of Jonathan to do that. Banga still wants his lick back with Big Lou, and he was talking to Jonathan about it. And he was like, hey, I understand. Do your big one. When it's time, get it in. So it was funny because Jonathan also said in his confessionals, everybody just acting like little kids, and I just can't get with that. Well, Jonathan, just last week, you was running up on Anthony. You was running up on Anthony's friend. You was doing the most as well, too. So if you a kid, or if they a kid, you a kid, too. All of y'all a bunch of kids, because y'all just don't know how to behave, in my opinion. So we move into the next scene. Raz B and Orlando are catching up. And so Orlando and Raz B know each other from childhood. Orlando Brown. If you don't know who that is, this is Orlando Brown right here. Here's Raz B. Orlando Brown was a child actor. He grew up on Disney. He was on sitcoms like Family Matters, Hanging with the Coopers, little shows like that. And so, Raz B just felt the need to give Orlando his flowers, supporting him, as a young child star actor, making it this place in his life, understanding how hard it is to be a child actor and the struggle that it is being in the industry in such a young age. Okay. So Orlando Brown says life has changed so much for him. He was locked up prior to coming to the show. And if you've been watching at the beginning of the season, Natalie went and picked him up from the jail, flew him to LA, and got him on the show and everything. So Orlando, he feels like he's cool with everyone. He feels like everybody is getting along with him and he don't have no beef. Raz B is claiming to be a bad boy. I have yet to see Raz B show me bad boy energy. He tried to show a little bit of energy when Jonathan's friends pulled up, and he was trying to do a little rah-rah, but it wasn't really giving nothing. So at that point in time, then Relly and Jonathan come outside and interrupt the boys' time, interrupt Raz B and Orlando talking. And so if you don't know who Jonathan is, this is Jonathan right here, and here is Relly. And so, like I said, they interrupted their conversation. And so, who was it that asked? It was Raz asked about Relly's ankle bracelet. He said everything is alleged. These are all allegations. Relly, he was just like, I don't, it's just my ankle bracelet. I'm dealing with that right now. And so Orlando lifted up his foot and was like, well, hey, I got one on too. So it's nice to see that we have commonalities here in the house. Everybody got a criminal history. Some of us have ankle bracelets on. Some of us are fighters. We all have some commonality in the house. So it was good to see that, okay? Now, Relly kind of brought up the fact that Banga still wants his lick back with Big Lou. And, he just feels like it's not that big of a deal. We don't have to fight about everything. Everything does not, some stuff can be talked out. But Banga is on the agenda to get his lick back with Big Lou. And he is not going to stop until it happens, okay? So good evening, Deborah Davis. Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you're having a great Friday evening. So we move into the next scene. And so Banga is ready to fight Big Lou. And so Big Lou is like, listen, I done beat you up 4 times. They claim that Banga was dancing on Big Lou the night before at the club, and he thought that they had made peace. But Big Lou in his head, he's like, okay, I was drunk, I was high when all that was going on, but now that I'm sober, I still want my lick back. I still want to fight you because I felt you disrespected me. His thing was he felt Big Lou jumped into a conversation that didn't have nothing to do with him when Banga was having a conversation with someone else. I believe he was having a conversation with Chef D. And so Big Lou jumped into it, and, Banga just felt like that was not your fight. That was not your situation. And he just don't like it. And so he wants to fight. So Prince gets upset and he's like, listen, you was just working on the man last night. Y'all was dancing with each other, having fun. Why do you keep wanting to fight this man? Like, for what? You got beat up 4 times. You're causing issues. It's coming off as being a bully. Like, you want to fight this man. Why are you doing all of this? And so everybody just accepts the fact, excuse me, you guys. Everybody, allergy season, I'm so sorry. Everybody just accepts the fact that Big Lou and Banga is going to fight. So they go to the game room, and the game room is where all the fights go down. That's where the last fight went down with Jonathan and Chef D. And that's where the situation broke out with Jonathan's friends showing up to the house and everything. Okay. So they bring out the boxing gloves, and Banga's like, I don't want no boxing gloves. I want to fight this man knuckle to knuckle, fist to fist. Let's go. So they start fighting, and according to what I see, it looks like that Banga got kind of beat up again. Well, it kind of looked like a tie almost to me. Like, Banga ran up on Big Lou and hands were thrown. So I was just like a little confused by that. And so Big Lou said, oh yeah, no, that's what happened. He ran up on him and beat up Big Lou. And then Big Lou wanted his licks back now. And so they started singing, "Ain't no stopping us now. We on the move." So I thought that was super funny. Nice little comedic moment, in the midst of chaos and confusion. So Big Lou runs up on Banga and Banga goes wild with the hands and again beats up Banga. Now I love how Jonathan was standing in the middle of everybody like, let them fight, let them get it out. Jonathan, let it go down. And so Banga beat him up. Well, after Banga beat Big Lou up, now everybody wanted to vote to get Banga out of the house. And Jonathan wasn't having it. He was like, no, when y'all wanted to fight and do all that extra stuff, ain't nobody want to vote y'all off. Banga wanted to get his lick back. He got his lick back and he won. So let's move on and let's get packed up and go to the club. Okay? So going into the next scene, we're going out to the club. Everybody had a great time at the club. We was drinking, we partying, we having fun. Well, we get back on the bus. And so that evening, everybody had packed to leave for Austin because after they left the club, they immediately got on the bus and they were headed to Austin, Texas. Okay. So getting ready to go out for the last night in Houston, Prince said that he was embarrassed by the way that Raz behaved in the strip club. He felt embarrassed for Raz and he was embarrassed and he wanted Raz B to act better at the club that night. Okay. Big Lou offered to make peace with Banga. And so it looks like everybody moved forward and they moved on. Okay. So the beef begins as we get back on the bus after we leave the last club in Houston. And so the issue was Raz B told Orlando that, Chef D was mad because Prince, Carry-On, and Raz ran out on the bill back at the strip club, okay? And so Chef D just want his money. And so it kind of, got stirred up on the bus because Orlando brought it up. And so when Orlando was asked who told him, well, he said, well, Raz told me. And Raz was like, well, I didn't tell you so that you could be telling people. I told you so that if something pop off, you can be out of the way and protect yourself. And so, Raz, was feeling some type of way because he felt like Orlando threw him under the bus. Well, Chef D got upset because he felt like that Raz was stirring the pot, regarding Prince owing him money and Carry-On and Raz himself. And so Chef D ran up on Raz B and, attempted to fight him, okay? And so after he attempted to fight Chef D, it just was chaos from that point on. So that was the ending of episode 4. It was so much drama, so much mess, so much chaos at the end of that episode because Chef D, if you don't watch the show, let me show you. This is Chef D, okay? Let me show y'all a bigger picture, like a real picture of Chef D in real life. Like, this man is huge, y'all. Like, he a big dude. Like, so the fact that he just be running up on people, like, is this him? This is him. This is him. Hold on, y'all. We're going to go to his Instagram and I'm going to show you real quick. Because that's a big man. Look at this man. He ain't no little dude. He is like big and tall. Look how big and tall he is. He's like not fun size at all. This is a big guy. And he is rolling up on little Raz B, little Carry-On, Lil Prince. Like, it's ridiculous. This man is huge. And he fine too. But he is huge. Like, look how tall and big this dude is. So imagine this big, tall man running up on you, like, in the middle of the club, in the middle of a bus ride. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Good evening, Black Panthers. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. We're just running through Bad Boys Club real quick, giving a real quick recap. We are at the ending of episode 4 and going into episode 5, okay? So D is mad and walks up, like I said, on Raz and just began okay? So that's how that episode ended. So we go into episode 5, and episode 5 picks up right off where we left from episode 4. Sounds like a bully. Yes, you know what? It was, to me, in my opinion, it was giving bully vibes because this is how I feel. And I put this in my notes for episode 5. My thing is, okay, Chef D, you footed the bill. If you didn't have the money in the first place to foot the bill, why did you foot the bill? Like, don't pay for other people expecting them to pay you back if you ain't got it. Like, he said before they went into the club, he asked everybody if they were straight. Everybody said they was good. Everybody said they had their portion, and he bought the bottles. But my thing is, if they didn't have it, okay, they didn't have it. So you need to suck it up, foot the bill, and move on. Y'all play like these big celebrity stars, like y'all got all of this money, but then when it's time for the bill to come, then everybody want to act all dumb and stupid like they don't have nothing and they can't afford it. If you couldn't afford to do it, you shouldn't have offered it in the first place. Point blank, period. Okay. So going into episode 5, all the cast is on the bus and we're headed to Austin, Texas. And so Chef D, sorry, y'all, I'm trying to figure out a place to put up my phone so I can read my notes. So all the cast is on the bus and headed to Austin, Texas. Let's see. What's up, Nate? How you doing? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. That part, yes. Don't be footing bills for stuff that you can't afford. Like, negative. We don't do that over here. Not in Roy Ayers' world. Trust and believe. If I'm going out to eat, I will be able to pay for me, you, and everybody else. I'm not coming just to provide for myself. Like, that's just never the goal, okay? So, all the cast are on the bus and headed to Austin, Texas. Chef D, like I said, has beef with the guys because they didn't pay their portion of the bill at the strip club. And so he fights Raz B. Chef D attempts to put his hands on Kerrion and Orlando as well. And so the bus is cleared. Everybody get off the bus because everybody is like in fear. Now, Prince ran to his phone and pulled up his Cash App and put all of his coins on over to Chef D. I mean, he did it so quick. He went broke to make sure that he was not going to get beat up by Chef D's big tail. Because Prince, I'm going to show you guys Prince real quick. This is Prince. Prince is this little tiny skinny boy. Like, he don't want none of the beef from Chef D at all. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up Bad Boys. I'm gonna pull up a little picture of Prince. Bad Boys, Prince. So y'all can see how skinny this little man is. Look how small this little man is. He just tiny and small and scrawny. And he was not finna get beat up by Chef D. So he pulled out that phone real quick, sent the Cash App of however much money he sent, and he was like, we good, we good. He was like, this is just stressing me out. This is just too much. I can't take all of this. No. Sir, it's nothing about you, a bad boy. I need you to get off the show. Raz B, it's nothing about you, a bad boy. I need you to get off the show. And we finna get to you, Kerrion, in just a second, okay? So, like I said, Prince pays Chef D back. Kerrion, they're outside. Chef D is chasing after Kerrion, and Kerrion is literally running from this man. Like, you can't catch me, you ain't gonna get me, like, I got you. Like, literally playing Chef D in his face. And he is running from Chef D. If you don't know who Kerrion is, this is Kerrion right here, Kerrion Franklin. He was also on season 1, and this is Kurt Franklin's son, his eldest son, okay? So Kerrion was running around the parking lot trying to run away from Chef D, running Chef D out of breath because he was trying to just not get beat up. Kerrion is about the same size as Prince, maybe a little shorter than Prince, and he don't have time to be trying to get beat up by Chef D's big old barley self, okay? Black Panther says, LOL, he just didn't want his pretty face messed up. That part, he didn't want that face to get beat down because he knew Chef D was coming for him and coming from him hard, okay? So he paid that money real quick, and that was hilarious to me. So, Kerrion, was talking trash in his confessionals and talking about, Chef D don't want to mess with me because I was going to headbutt him. He was giving candy vibes. B, I will headbutt you. I will punch you, talking all this trash and wasn't going to do nothing, okay? So now Benga and Orlando get into it on the bus because Benga called Orlando messy for jumping off all this mess in the first place. And I totally agree. You just did not need to say anything about Chef D and the beef with him and Prince and him owing people money, that was not your business to share. Raz B told you so that just in case something popped off, you could get out the way. But no, you sat and told everything that was going on. So I was just like, yes, you was messy for that. And so he tried to throw a punch at Banga, and Banga was like, I'm not even gonna fight you because I will beat you up, but I will continue to call you messy. You was wrong for what you did. You was out of pocket and you didn't need to say anything. I totally agree. Orlando was being messy, point blank, period. Chef D is still outside trying to fight Carry On. They still running around the parking lot. Carry On is refusing, to back down from this man regarding the running portion of it. And so it's just a hot mess, okay? And it's just crazy to me because in one breath they call each other brothers and we in this together and we the bad boy, the brothers and all of this. But then in the next breath, y'all fighting each other over some money. Like, come on. Like I said, if you didn't have the money in the first place, you shouldn't have even bought the bottles for them. You should have bought bottles for you and kept it pushing. So now Carry On wants to fight Chef D with the boxing gloves, and the crew has just completely stopped the bus, and we are in the middle of nowhere trying to get everybody to calm down. Well, in the midst of trying to get everybody to calm down, we then find out that the crew has wrecked Jonathan's hair bus. I'm just like, we go from one drama situation to a whole nother. The crew has wrecked Jonathan's hair bus, and this is his moneymaker, and Jonathan is on fire. He is pissed because this is how he make his money. He travels with his bus and goes to his clients. He does their hair and he gets his coin. So I completely understand his frustration and anger with the crew wrecking his bus, okay? So Black Panther says Carry On should have been running towards the nearest church altar. I digress. Help us, Lord Jesus. The nearest church altar. I mean, because that young man, he just... we're going to keep him in our prayers, everyone. We're going to keep him lifted up in our prayers, okay? So everybody eventually ends up separating. Raz B refuses to get back on the bus because he's like, he ain't with the extra drama. Carry On is like, I ain't get back on the bus. Everybody don't want to get back on the bus until Chef D and all that whole crew disappears. So Chef D, Relly, Jonathan, and Big Lou head down to Dallas, Texas for a club booking that Jonathan and Relly had. Now, this club booking, they drove all the way to Dallas. Jonathan was supposed to be paid $17,000. And Relly, excuse me, so sorry, you guys. Relly was supposed to be paid $5,000. They missed the booking. So not only was Jonathan bus wrecked, he has now missed out on $17,000. And Relly has missed out on $5,000 because Orlando wanted to be messy on the bus and talk about Chef D want to fight people over some money. It was a mess. It was a mess. Jonathan was pissed. Relly was pissed because they missed out on money. They done drove all the way from Houston to Dallas, and they still got to go now to Austin. So it was a lot. So the four, Relly, Relly, Big Lou, Chef D, and Jonathan ended up staying the night in a hotel in Dallas, okay? The other castmates, they went on to the new house, from that night. And so they were, not as happy because the house was not as extravagant as the first house. And, there are two houses. And so, everybody just going to have to find their room as normal. So Orlando is the first one to find a room, and he happens to find the master bedroom. And so he sticks it there. That's where he is. Prince finds a room with a small cot in there. Well, he moved out the cot. He said he don't share no room. He a grown man and he will not share. So he moved the cot into the hallway and, closed his door and got his room. Banga found a room and he said he ain't fighting over a room. He just want a bed in the bathroom. He got his bed in his bathroom. He closed the door and went on about his business. Okay. So, that next morning, Jonathan has left to deal with his bus situation. And so Chef D, Relly, and Big Lou are headed, down to Austin to join the rest of the cast because they were in Dallas. Okay. So Chef D is still complaining about his money on the bus. And like I said from jump, sir, if you really didn't have the money to foot the bill, you shouldn't have paid for the bill for the others in the first place. A bought lesson is a taught lesson. You've learned your lesson. From now on, pay for your own bottles, period. So, Relly and Big Lou decided that they wanted to come for Prince and his sexuality. Instead of Prince giving, bad boy Prince, it was giving bad girl princess. It was giving pussy vibes. It was giving I'm scary. It was giving I didn't want to get beat up by Chef D. So like I said, I'm going to go broke and pay you whatever money I owe you so that I don't get, in the words of Black Pantheress, my pretty face beat up. He didn't want that face beat up, people. So Big Lou and Relly, they came for Prince's sexuality. And, they also said that Carry-On was a pussy because he was running away from Chef D outside, of the bus. And so Relly kind of, gave an insight to Carry-On and said, he'd been this way. I seen him run away from a fight in season 1, and so he's going to be doing the same thing this season. So I don't pay him no attention. And Chef D, goes on to say that, he is just stressed out. He needs attention. He needs somebody breathing on his neck. He just needs to share a room with someone. So I was just like, okay, like, you really that desperate for attention? Like, you desperate for money? You desperate for attention? You just got a lot going on, Chef D. Like, and for you to be so big and fine, like, you would think that, sir, like, you don't need all of this attention, but whatever. So Relly and the rest of the castmates gets to the house. Relly goes to his room. And so Natalie calls him. And so Relly, is giving Natalie an update on what happened on the bus, Chef D, footing the bill for the individuals, and those individuals owing him money, and Carry-On hasn't paid Chef D yet, and nor has Raz-B. And so, Natalie's like, well, y'all will work that out, but I do have some news for you. I think we're going to bring a new castmate into the house. And so they're bringing a new castmate because if you did not know, Jonathan, which Jonathan is right here, Anthony is right here. Anthony left the house in the second episode because him and Jonathan had a fight in the first episode. They just could not get past it in the second. And so him and Chef D also had some beef as well. And so they fought in the second episode in the game room. So Jonathan just felt that it was best for him to leave the household. And so Natalie now feels that it's best to bring in a new housemate. So Relly was Natalie was sharing that with Relly, but she did not share who it was. So she gave Relly the task of letting the other housemates know that there will be a new roommate in the house, okay? So Chef D, shows up to the house, right alongside of Relly and Big Lou. And so Chef D happens to stop by Orlando's room. And so they're just catching up, talking, seeing how things have been so far now that they're in the house in Dallas. And so Big Lou is trying to find a room. And so he finds a room. He's not happy with the room. And so Orlando shares with him that there are 2 houses. Well, while they're talking, Banga comes into the room, and Banga shares, I've got my room. I'm happy with my room. I'm good. Excuse me, not Banga. Big Lou shares that he's got his room. He's happy with his room. And so he goes on to help Chef D find a room. Now, I don't understand why Chef D always is the last one to find a room. If you stop being so messy and nosy and up in everybody's business and handle yours, you would have a room. You wouldn't have so much beef with everybody. And maybe you wouldn't have to buy bottles for people because you would be minding your own business. Okay. So Chef D finds a room in the second house and he's happy with it. Okay. Well, Carry-On, Prince, Mo City, and Raz-B are out on the balcony at the second house, and they're just talking about, the energy has just been off since the whole money situation, and they just not really here for the drama. They here for the money and just to have fun. Well, as they're standing outside talking, Rello, Big Lou, and Chef D are walking up to them, and so Carry-On and Raz is kind of like backing up Carrion, like, what's up, man? You know, what's up? Back up. Don't be walking up on me. And so Chef D runs up on him. And so him and Carrion instantly, get into a fight. And that ends episode 5. So we're going to see episode 6 this coming Sunday. I am, super excited to see how this fight is going to go between Chef D and Carrion. Carrion claims that he's so crazy and he got his hands and he be headbutting people and all this stuff. I want to see you pop off, Carrion. I want to see you do it. I want to see somebody take down Chef D. Take him down. They say the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So I want to see Chef D come down a few notches because he is definitely giving big bully energy. And I just don't like it. Like I said, if you weren't able to pay for everyone, don't foot the bill at all. Pay for yourself and keep it pushing. So that was episode 4 and 5 of Bad Boys Club. I want to thank everybody for joining me. If you have any thoughts or opinions, please leave them down in the comment section. As you know, I respond to the comments and we can always keep the conversation going. Dustin, thank you so much for joining me in the building. Did you have any thoughts or opinions on this episode with everything that I shared?
He shouldn't have flipped the bill if he didn't have the money for everybody else. He should have just shouldn't pay for himself and got it good enough. But don't flip the bill for somebody else if you don't have the money for all the people. I wouldn't do that.
I totally agree with you, Dustin. That was just pointless to me. Like
pointless.
And he was, and they did have a meeting. I will say this for Chef D. They did have a meeting prior to going into the strip club, and he asked if everybody had their portion of the bill. They said yes, and he said, well, I'll buy the bottles for everybody, and y'all can just pay me back. So there was, according to, what Chef D is saying, there was an agreement off camera. But when we got on camera, a completely different thing happened. But like you said, and like I said, he shouldn't have footed the bill if he didn't have it for everybody. If he was that desperate for the money, he should have just paid for himself and kept it moving. So, hey, Radiance. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm so sorry, y'all. My allergies are really acting up.
My allergies been awful this season.
Please excuse me. I'm so sorry. But that was episode 4 and 5 of Bad Boys Club. I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Please join me next week for episode 6. I think I'm going to do it on... Oh, well, no, I can't do it Monday because I got a little something planned for us on Monday. So I will let y'all know what I got planned for us on Monday, probably Sunday evening, so that you can be with me on Monday evening for the plan that I have for us. So I will review Bad Boys Club sometime next week. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I totally appreciate the love and support. Please remember to hit that. Say that again, Dustin. I'm sorry.
What network is it on? What channel?
This is on the Zeus Network. It's on the Zeus Network.
Okay, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's normally on like all the smart TVs, or if you got a Roku or like a Apple TV or one of those things, you can download it on there. Or if you have a smart TV, you can download Zeus Network. It ain't nothing but like $5 or $10 a month. Like I just pay, I use a friend's account.
But I got Hulu.
I don't think it's on Hulu. Excuse me. I think this is strictly on Zeus Network only. So, Fire Stick. Thank you so much, Radiance. That's what I was trying to think of. If you got a Fire Stick, you can also download it on your Fire Stick and get access to it as well. Okay.
Okay.
Black Panther says I'll definitely be there, but right now I'm going to find me some fish. I know that's right, girl. That sounds like a good night. Friday night fish, fried fish. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Well, you guys, remember to hit the like button on this video, comment your thoughts and opinions down below. If you're not a subscriber, check out my channel. And if you like what you see going on over here in Warriors World, hit that subscribe button, and I will totally appreciate it. And I got so much more content coming to you this year. Thank you, Dustin, for joining me tonight. I totally appreciate it. I will see you on Monday over on our Auntie Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva channel, because she'll be back.
There. I'll be there. Okay.
All righty.
I'll be there.
Well, you have an awesome night, Dustin, and everybody else. Thank you so much. Y'all have an awesome Friday night, and I'll catch y'all next time in Warriors World. Bye.
Royals World.